Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Wednesday, November 12th, 2025, and one of the big stories today in the United States is that the Congresswoman who won the election on September 23rd has been yet to be sworn in, and that's been because of the government shutdown. Now, her father died earlier this year, and the day he died, I covered why it was clearly not organic, and it was no doubt a Jesuit ritual. So go figure that his daughter is now going to be sworn in on the leader of the Jesuit order's birthday, November 12th. I want you to see just how perfect this ritualism is. So many people have been so upset about this, that the Republicans aren't swearing her in, the Republicans are delaying her seat in Congress. Again, people need to get out of the political theater and recognize who is orchestrating the stage. Again, it is the Jesuit order. The same people who took her father's life March 13th, which no doubt they did, are the same ones who chose to have her installed today on the Jesuit leader's birthday. You can go back and watch my video from March 13th, and then you can come back to today's news and see the consistency. But let's look how perfect this is. Her father died March 13th, 2025. And from that day to today is exactly a span of 35 weeks. Keep in mind, he died on a Thursday. I always educate about 35 Thursday. Every single week, it's a 35 ritual in the news, sports, politics, etc., etc. But exactly 35 weeks. The family surname, which is hard to say, Grijalva, equates to 35. Thursday's 35. Catholic's 35. Jesuitism's 35. Opus Dei, Catholic order that's very involved in politics, is 35. Holy See is 35. That's the areas the Catholic Church controls, which includes Washington, D.C. Again, the only reason the capital's there is because of the Jesuits. It was once called Rome on the Potomac, land gifted by a man named Francis Pope, not to be confused with the first Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis. And don't forget, he was the 266th Pope, and he spoke in D.C. on the 266th day of the year, and the Jesuit motto, "E Sus Omnibus Salvator," equals 266. But yeah, her father died March 13th, which is the 72nd day of the year. His full name, Raul Manuel Grijalva, 72, just like Jesuit order. Remember, their logo's the sun, which moves 1 degree on the astrological wheel every 72 years. Jesus sends out his 72 disciples in the gospel, 72 names of God in Kabbalah, 72 demons in the Goetia. Not an arbitrary number. President Trump equals 72. President Biden equals 72. Both men Jesuit educated. We talked about the ritual of Dick Cheney, the 46th vice president, dying on the anniversary of the election of number 46, and now his funeral is going to be on Joe Biden's birthday. But yeah, think about how perfect this is. And notice that yesterday she was all over the news. She said she's going to confront Mike Johnson. Remember, Mike Johnson equals 56, like Washington, D.C., like Society of Jesus. He's the 56th Speaker of House. Perfect name to be the 56th Speaker, to be a good little Jesuit puppet. And obviously symbolic, because that 56 number is not arbitrary at all. But from her father's death to yesterday, when she was all over the news saying she's going to confront Mike Johnson today, which people just can't wait to see that political theater, notice that it was 243 days. That is 3 to the 5th power. 3 to the 5th power is 243. Central Intelligence Agency equals 243. If you're not familiar with my work on the CIA's establishment, September 18th, 1947, it couldn't have been a bigger Jesuit ritual. And remember, Howard Hunt, one of the most famous CIA agents of all time, he said, the greatest intelligence network in the world is the Jesuits. That popular Tom Clancy series about the CIA agent, Jack Ryan, where did he go to school? That's right. He went to multiple Jesuit institutions. He has the quotes in the book about how the Jesuits run the world. They're just humble about it. So yes, these are the people playing the games that keep people invested in the theater. And there's a lot of people in the world mad about this right now, that this girl hasn't been sworn in. They're not swearing her in, those Republicans. Again, if you're caught up in all that, you're not seeing the forest for the trees. Both of these parties are bought and paid for. Neither of them represent us, and they play these games to keep people divided. They both do it. And you can see, again, who is the puppet master? It shouldn't be too hard to tell. Again, I mean, I explained how her father died in a Jesuit ritual at the start of the year, and now the daughter's being sworn in on the leader of the Jesuits' birthday, Arturo Sosa, who turned 77 years old today, like United States equals 77, like the nation's capital's on the 77th meridian. I mean, you got to be some kind of super hard-headed to ignore this. And what annoys me is all these channels. By the way, for all you guys who've been saying for years that, Zach, you're wrong because you can speak about the Jesuits, but you can't speak about the small hats. Again, notice everybody who's blaming everything on small hats, their channels are going viral, taking off. I'm getting stuff taken down for hate speech for connecting it to the Jesuits. So, looks like that psyop's over too. Pin it on the small hats, who don't have much to do with anything, really, at the end of the day. We're not on their calendar. We're not speaking their language. They didn't move the capital to D.C., et cetera, et cetera. That's the Jesuits. Nobody warned about small hats when this nation was being founded, but the Jesuits were warned about. There's no speech from Lincoln blaming the Civil War on small hats, but there is one of him saying it was the Jesuits. You guys haven't figured out that all the misinformation is programming you to look the wrong direction. You just can't figure it out, as I give you nothing but facts every day. Let me know. Let me know how you think this one's a coincidence, too, out there. Where's the small hat ritual in this? Remember the Jesuit numbers are all over the small hat country. Don't forget it. Yeah, that was created in a big Catholic Jesuit ritual, that country that you guys blame everything on, Israel, when this stuff's been going on for longer than Israel's existence. Again, it's not a chicken and an egg thing. It's pretty easy to see which one's a lot older. Jesuits, since the 16th century. Israel, since the 20th century. Not even a contest. A lot of you guys need to sign up for the Special Olympics. We'll leave it there for now, and until